Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Creatives. My name is Sister Janaya, and I am one of the co-founders of Joshua's Truth magazine. Today, we are joined by Sister Tequella Muhammad, where we're going to talk about everything from disaster preparedness, how to eat to live, and various topics. So I am going to toss it over to Sister Anissa to get into our first question.
Assalamu alaikum. So this first question is one that we ask everybody that comes onto our platform. So basically, if you could describe yourself in 3 words, what would they be?
Praise be to Allah. I want to first open up in the name of Allah, the beneficent, most merciful. I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. I thank you both for this opportunity today to be able to do this interview really fast. So describe myself in 3 words. I would say honest, loyal, and inspirational. Those would be my 3 words.
Nice. I love those. Okay, so moving on to our next question. Could you just kind of, talk to us about the kind of work that you do? You've been able to incorporate several different aspects, into helping our people in the community, etc. So can you just kind of go through the different things that you do?
Yes, ma'am. Praise be to Allah. So I am a part of 10,000 Fearless. As you can see, I'm here in the background, helping our people in the community. And I believe it's better to have hands-on because we don't really know the condition of our people until we're out here. And I also am a disaster preparedness advocate for Atlanta and Tennessee, and I would say surrounding areas, which what I'm trying to do is promote us into getting what we need to survive, because we see the world falling and the economy collapsing right in front of our eyes. And so I just kind of like to shove and promote it to just give us a little nudge to get the things that we need and to follow the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's guidance to do something for self so that we don't have to suffer the consequences of not doing what we were told to do many, many years ago.
Yeah. So what kind of gave you the passion to sort of help the community with disaster preparedness and eating to live?
Yes, ma'am. Praise be to Allah. I was raised in the Nation of Islam, and so my mom really was the inspiration behind me doing disaster preparedness. And of course, when you're young, you have no clue that would inspire you. But we thought in 2000 that the world was going to end. 2000, it was like, everybody thought it was going to be Y2K because, we're coming out of the 1999 year and going into the 2000. And so everybody thought the apocalypse was about to happen. And my mom started stocking all this stuff up in her basement. When I say she had so much stuff, if we had to live in there, we'd probably be able to survive for a few years. And, I just admired her because she was a mother of 4. And, we never really wanted for anything when it came to my mom. She always made sure we had what we needed. And, I just felt a sense of security and safety with knowing that she was prepared and having us to prepare for that time. And so I just kind of had that in the back of my mind. And as I grew up, I'm a mother of 6. So it's the same thing. I just want to make sure that I'm prepared, but not only am I and my children prepared, but my family and friends and the community is also prepared. So I just took that on, and then I just, I started with little workshops, and the workshops started spreading. And as I've been talking, people started inboxing me and telling me how influential I am with certain things. And, I just took it like that. And I guess that's the calling and purpose that Allah has placed upon my life. So I thank him for it.
Wow. Nice. So, through the different workshops and the work that you've been doing, what kind of, impact have you seen throughout the community?
Just so much. I would give an example for my sister. My sister she's not in Islam. She's not in the nation. She is in the church and, very strong, devoted Christian, and she's married to a pastor. And my sister is like, I'm not stocking nothing. I'm waiting for Jesus to come. He's going to save us. When this stuff takes place, and she was not for surviving. She is not for stocking anything. And within this last year, because I kept staying on her and writing posts, my sister has done a 360. When I say, she texted me yesterday, she was like, I need some butane stoves. Can you send me some? She has been getting all what she needed in her home to make sure her family is safe. She's been following messages that I've been posting from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Honorable Minister Farrakhan. She follows the Criterion. She is just, she's one of the biggest people that I felt like was hard to turn. So I feel like if she's able to come around in this time and notice, what's going on, everyone else is doing the same thing. So I've gotten a lot of inboxes, a lot of positive criticism for what I'm doing. I know people don't like to hear it. I don't want to be a doom peddler, but I just want to do whatever it is to help the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in this day and time. So, I mean, I haven't had any negative feedback on it thus far. So,
Beautiful.
Praise be to Allah.
Praise be to Allah.
I know, like, you do a lot of community work, and even now, like, you're at the 2000 Fearless House. But how have your work sort of changed throughout quarantine?
Wow. I will say I'm quarantined, but not really quarantined because I still work a job. I work a job and I work for myself as well. But my creative passions are coming back and having me to slow down. So I've been able to finish my children's book that I have been writing for a while and putting together by the grace and mercy of my sister Amina from Memphis, Tennessee. She was the illustrator of my book, so I thank Allah for her. But I've had it sitting for a while, and I was supposed to come out with it last year. So I did write a children's book on disaster preparedness because I know that, they don't really know and understand what's going on right now. And I just kind of put it in a fun and friendly manner where they can see that, your mom is canning and what is she canning for, and putting things in your first aid kit, and just little things that just kind of get them on board with what we have going on, so they're not left in the dark. And so just, and I have another series of different books, like books about cleaning coming out for children, and books about sheltering in place, because it changed, all these things have changed. So, I'm just thankful to Allah that he's bringing that up to continue to do work in different, forms of art, I would say.
Exactly. And I'm happy you brought up your children's book because that was actually our next question. So could you talk a little bit more about, what inspired you to actually decide to, put these topics in a language that children can understand?
Well, the inspiration definitely came from my beautiful children. I thank Allah for them because they're so receptive to knowledge and wisdom. And, knowledge is power. And children, even myself, I was a big reader. I was a reader at 5 years old. Matter of fact, I was in kindergarten. They skipped me to second grade for reading because I was so advanced in reading. And I just think it's fundamental. And I think reading is like traveling the world. You get to be in other people's minds and see what they see and vision what they vision. And so I love that. And I felt like that is something that children need. It's a lost art with reading. These days, a lot of children will much rather play games and be on their cell phones and all that. I love carbon paper. I love turning pages to books and just, having that moment to be in present time. And so I just think it's a good thing for children to be able to read and see themselves as well on the pages, where they're not getting books with, other people's races and not being able to look at themselves and say, okay, this looks like me. My mom's doing these things at home, or I have to do this when it comes to cleaning, and, we're staying in our chambers. Certain topics are just for this present moment. And so that's pretty much what inspired me.
Yes, ma'am. Praise be to Allah. So you also do a lot of work with How to Eat to Live. I know, like, on your Instagram page, you posted a How to Eat to Live challenge, which
Yes.
I wouldn't have been able to do. So can you talk a little bit about that part and, like, how you incorporate How to Eat to Live into your work?
Yes, ma'am. Praise be to Allah. Well, we all know quarantine, you sitting at home, those snacks, in the refrigerator be calling you, it's late. And so I just know it's so easy for us, even myself, I've been on my 1 meal a day, but I know before, even with my 1 meal a day, I had an addiction to some jalapeno kettle chips. I don't know. It's just, those were my best friends. Okay. I would eat my 1 meal, but after that, I would literally eat it like a whole bag of kettle chips. So I'm like, I have to, we have to still incorporate with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has put in front of us, because he said that is successful. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan also said in 2018 that, you know, 1 meal a day is law now. And I think this time that we're in our chambers, you know, a lot is testing our faith and testing us out to see, you know, that we don't fall away and that we don't unravel during this time that we're in our homes. And so the biggest way to start unraveling to me is just eating improperly, you know, just whatever, you know, we see, because we're, you know, making excuses. And with all the trials that's happening and people passing away and transitioning in front of us, I think that we just don't want to get emotional and getting into that emotional eating phase. And I know I've done that before in my past, where emotionally I was going through some trials and just would eat certain things just to comfort myself. I call it comfort food. So I just wanted to just keep that reminder in front of everybody's face. Just, you know, even if you do one day, it's just good to do that. And also with diabetes running rapid, and Minister Ava mentioned that 40% of the COVID patients right now have diabetes. I just don't want us to get off, you know, onto the sugar and just eating and making ourselves sick and putting ourselves at a higher risk to catching COVID-19 during this time. So just a little motivation and inspiration for us.
Right, exactly. And you mentioned a little while ago about, you know, this being your purpose. So at what point did you realize that this was your purpose?
I realized it, I believe last year when I was working at MUI, and when I went in there with the students, I was teaching them about disaster preparedness. Before I became a teacher, I was just, I just came in just to teach that one class for disaster preparedness, and the children were being so receptive to disaster preparedness. It just made my day. Like, I didn't realize that they were so intrigued with, you know, making sure their family was safe and secure. And so I knew the hands of our future is in the youth right now, you know, definitely. I'm like, wow. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that's what made me realize it was my purpose, because, you know, they were motivating their parents. You know, their parents were calling me like, whatever you're doing, and telling them, keep doing it. Because, you know, we went in the store and they're like, Mom, get some more Navy beans. Mom, get this. Tequella said, grab that. And so, like, parents were getting on their P's and Q's because the children were being their constant reminders to the time that we're living in. So being that they were so receptive, they said my class was their favorite class. I said, yeah, you know, a lot. I didn't know it was my purpose, but, you know, to inspire them to do that, I said, this is part of my purpose. And inspiration means to breathe life, you know, is what I look at, breathe life into them. So I feel like I'm here to inspire others and to bring and breathe life into other individual people. So.
And just to follow up with that, you know, did you have a point in your life where you were kind of like searching for what it was that you were supposed to be doing? And then once you finally found it, what was that feeling like for you?
Praise be to Allah, yes. And even now, like, I don't think you ever stop searching, you know, like we were taught, you go out to get knowledge and you never return. And so, you know, our lives are constantly evolving. You know, I went through trials in my life, you know, even when I, you know, was divorced, and I don't talk about it a whole lot, but I let people know I'm an open book, because, you know, my story can help somebody. But when I was going through that, of course, I was like, you know, Allah, what do you want me to do next? So just learning the aspects and learning about myself. And that was that time where Allah made me focus on myself. You know, I had to just really go deep within me to find myself. And so that's when I pretty much knew, you know, this is my purpose, because that's what I love to do. That's what I'm passionate about doing. And that's what the minister said. He said, whatever it is that you love to do is more than likely, you know, your purpose on this earth. And so, you know, I just continue to do it. And it's like second nature, you know, it's like breathing, because it doesn't bother. You know, it's not something that I feel like, oh, I'm stressed to do. I don't feel like getting up and doing it. I can talk up, if somebody starts a conversation about disaster preparedness or even relationships or something, those things I just be, you know, passionate about. I can talk about it for hours, you know, not get tired. So, you know, that's pretty much how I kind of found that purpose.
Yes, ma'am. So you also mentioned earlier a little bit like that you have time to go into some of your like creative passions. So can you go more into that, on like what are some of those other like creative outlets that you use?
I always wanted to be a singer. but I can't sing. So I just been doing a lot of karaoke, and I just been finding, that I can just be myself in my own skin lately. I love spending time with my children and just watching and observing them and just watching them grow. And so just being a fun-loving parent, like I'm not super strict on my children. I'm just really not just like trying to be their friend, but just really engaging and observing them. And so just enjoying this moment of present time. That's my biggest thing. Writing blogs. I'm definitely writing a whole book right now. The book title is Price of Redemption, but I haven't put it out yet. So I'm still working on it, and inshallah it'll be a masterpiece. But just to kind of get people into learning about the Black woman, learning how to uplift and protect the woman, and just kind of go into that aspect. So that's where I'm venturing to next, is just getting into the mind of a Black woman. Yes.
And do you have any advice for people who may want to do similar work to you, especially during this time of a pandemic?
Wow, praise be to Allah. I would just say go for it. We have so many fears, anxieties. I suffer from social anxiety, although people think that, oh, she likes to talk a lot. And I used to tell people, I said, most of my videos were pre-recorded. Going live was hard. Reading out loud, even in study group, used to be tremendously hard for me. I was so nervous, and I just thought in my mind I would make a mistake and mess up, and people would laugh at me. I don't know why. So over the years, reading on the Holy Quran, prayer line, and just getting myself comfortable and facing the fears was the biggest change of my life. So now I can do lives, and I can go, in front of audiences and not, do my prayer and still feel nervous, but conquer that. So my biggest advice is whatever it is that you desire to do, just do it. Don't let anybody stop you. Don't doubt your ability to do it. I just posted something about doubt is the mother of hypocrisy. Stay away from people that doubt you. If you have a dream, vision, or goal, write it down and just go for it. Don't let anything or anyone stop you. Trust in Allah and make Allah your exclusive object of worship.
Yes, ma'am. Praise
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
So, as we kind of talked about, we do a lot. So how do you sort of like balance the work that you do with your other responsibilities, such as like being a mother and everything?
Oh, it's hard. It's hard, but I would say my biggest aspect is prayer. Those 5 prayers throughout the day, saying your refuge prayer, I promise you, it gives you a different mindset. And sometimes we focus on our own individual problems and we lose focus on Allah. And so, like, I have to get up at 4 something in the morning. I set my alarm clock to get up at 4:44 because I remember hearing the minister say that's the time he would get up. And I was able to, take my shower and do everything, get on the prayer line. And once I did my prayer, that jump started my day. And everything that needed to be done, I just wrote it down and just got it accomplished. But, I just have to have balance. The biggest thing is utilizing your time. If you sleep all day and go to bed early, you're going to miss those hours. So you have to get up early, get your main stuff together, do your prayer, read the Holy Quran, and just focus. The biggest thing is focusing. And I'm always moving. I'm always in motion. I'm never, stagnant. So even at night, sometimes everybody's asleep, but I'm up. I'm writing, I'm working on something. It could be 2 a.m. Y'all might see me post something on social media sometimes. I just be having things that come through my mind at 2 a.m. Like, why this sister still up? Because I just feel like, you got to get as much done in that time of day as you can. And whatever you didn't get done, it's okay. As long as you accomplish at least one of your goals for that day, and when you wake up, inshallah, you move on to the next goal. And you just keep going until you get to where you want to be in your individual life.
And lastly, you talked a little bit about some of the projects that you have working on. So can you go a little bit more into kind of what's next for you?
Yes, ma'am. Well, what's next is going to be that book called The Price of Redemption. And like I said, it's a story not of my life, not on just my individual life, but just inspiration and motivation for Black women and sisters around, because we suffer from so much when they talk about the Black man not protecting the Black woman, and I love the Black man. So just pushing that for us and young women growing up on, you know, making better decisions in our life, because every decision that we have, from even choosing a husband to, you know, where you're going to be located, all these things play an aspect into our future. And so we have to break these generational curses that are in our lives, from things that we witnessed to our family, you know, and we have to start a new world. And so the minister said it's going to be a new world order. So we have to have a whole totally different mindset going forward. And so this book is to kind of bring on the new mindset of the new woman, and not have us, you know, in the past. We don't want to talk about who we used to be, because a lie is destroying that, you know, day by day. So we just want to bring on the new mind, like Minister Ava, the new mind and the new woman. So
Yes, praise be. Well, that's everything we have for you. But thank you again for like coming on, giving us a part of like who you are and like your purpose.
Yes, ma'am. I thank a lot for you. I'm sorry it's so loud in the background down on my side, but I thank a lot for you. Congratulations on graduating the magazine. Both of you are so beautiful. Keep doing what you're doing. Like I said, don't let fear stop you. Keep interviewing, and Allah is just going to continue to allow you all to rise. So thank you.
Praise be to Allah.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, ma'am.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.